Hello and welcome to part 15 of Innovative Spelling, where we cover the top 100 most frequently misspelled words. Now remember in this process to always stop, think about your strategy before you apply it. In part 15, it's a little bit like part 14 where we use the word other to focus our whole set of words around, but in this case we're looking at 4 letters, O-U-G-H. Now the next set of 7 words that we have here can be very confusing, but if you know that the O-U-G-H is the base of each of them, it makes it a lot easier for you to remember how to spell them. O-U-G-H actually has many different sounds, and you'll hear them as I give you these focus words, which are bought, brought, fought, thought, through, thorough, and enough. Now let's check out those spelling strategies to help us with this group of words.
Okay, here's our next set of words. It's a little longer than the last time, but it still focuses on the same idea of looking for a key group of letters or word within a word. And that will help you spell a whole bunch of different words. Last time it was other, O-T-H-E-R. This time, starting again with an O, but it's O-U-G-H or O-U-G-H-T. Let me take a few minutes to go through the beginning part here, and I'll give you some strategies on how to spell them, as well as give you some ideas of how to remember the different spellings of words that look very, very similar to each other. Starting with enough, a lot of times people want to say enough. I'll tell you about a little more on that in a minute. But even then, and through and thorough, don't kind of know of how many O's to put or where to put the O's, or if they're an R somewhere. There's a lot of confusion, but I'll hopefully kind of give you some ideas to help you clear it up. And again, focus on the words that you have the most difficulty with. As we look through each of these words, the O-U-G-H, O-U-G-H-T actually has like 7 different actual sounds. I'll show you the sounds that they make here. Enough, it has the UF sound, as in like suffer or suffix, the O-U-G-H, so it's a little different. It has a different sound here too. With the word through, through has the long O like go in it. Through. I'm sorry, it has a long two. It's a two sound. I'm sorry, like through, to, and thorough. That's a long O like go. And then all these have the same ah, like paw or saw. That's bought, brought, thought, and fought. So again, don't let it confuse you like the O-T-H-E-R can have a couple different pronunciations. Don't let the different pronunciations fool you. All these words have the same core bits in the middle. The O-U-G-H or O-U-G-H-T if you have a word with a T at the end. So let's give you some ideas of how to remember how to spell this. And sometimes people even want to throw an A in there or whatever, which I understand. Let's take a peek. I think of some different things. I think of it like a text message almost, and I'm sure enough of you have seen or heard about text messaging. Oh, you go home. And you can say this in a bunch of different ways, in a silly way, in a serious way, in an angry way. Oh, you go home. I've had enough. O-U-G-H. Oh, you go home. Oh, you go home. I've had enough. If you can use that, or oh, you go home. Oh, you go home through the park. You can even say it like that. It doesn't have to be angry. You can just say it a couple different ways, whatever connects with you. Here's another one that you can use too if you need usually once you know this, you just add the T on the end of these words. You don't have to come up with another word for it. But I always want to give people options or kind of spark their ideas to do things that work best for you. Another one would be, oh, you get home tonight? Oh, you get home tonight? I thought about that. Oh, you get home tonight. That's what I thought. So I work with something like that, O-U-G-H-T. Might help you. Let me show you how I kind of connect it with a couple of these words, and then we'll break the other ones down that are a little more difficult, or people get confused. So O-U-G-H-T, a lot of times with the word enough, people want to, they say enough, and when you do that, sometimes people will write it with a U, sound. So what I do is I try to retrain myself and get into the habit of saying it in a little different way. That way I know the spelling and I can check the spelling more easily. Oh, you go home, I've had enough. And again, as I said that one a little earlier, I focus on the E. So let me give you an example. Oh, you go home, I've had enough. And that might help me kind of morph it or double check myself. Again, going back and just, oh, you go home, I've had enough. Okay, yeah, that works. Another one for the O-U-G-H-T. Let's see, we'll use thought. Oh, you get home tonight. That's what I thought. Oh, you get home tonight. That's what I thought. That English loves the TH, as we know. That's what I thought. And that might help you with the spelling of those guys. Last two I'm going to kind of look at are these two and these two, because people, and I know for myself, I would get confused, like, where does the O go, where does the R go? And so again, start by just remembering the O-U-G-H-T, the you get home tonight, or however you want to remember it. And once I knew that, I knew just to put the B on the front for bought. The same as I did for fought, or thought. What tripped me up a lot of times, especially when I was younger, was about the R. I didn't know if you were supposed to put the R over here or what. And so, again, if I focused on the word O-U-G, the part of the word of O-U-G-H-T, oh, you get home tonight, and then, or I would, if I already kind of knew that, another thing I would add to it is I think, ooh, brr, I'm glad I brought a coat, because it's really cold outside. Brr, I'm glad I brought a coat, brr. So that helps me, because it reminded me, it gave me the cue that, oh yeah, the R and the B are together, and there's not an R over here somewhere. That would be wrong. The last two that a lot of times I myself and a lot of people get confused are through and thorough, because it's just one letter off, that O is thrown in there. This one, like, if I know that, you know, I like to kind of chunk or group out words. If I look at this again, I start with the O-U-G-H, you know, oh, you go home, through. Or sometimes I just add the th-er. But if that doesn't work, I also see the word rough in there. Oh, it's rough when you go home through the woods with no shoes on, or something like that. Oh, it's rough. And again, that also helps you if you didn't know how to spell rough. I didn't want to give you too many words over here, but it kind of gives you a little cue to how to spell rough, O-U-G-H, R-O-U-G-H. Rough through. And I just add that beloved TH to the front. That might help you with this one. And then the other one is the thorough. This one was really hard for me because I always want to stick another R over here or something. So what I do is, since I already know how to spell the O-U-G-H, that's taken care of. I just throw that down. This is actually the part that messed me up and messes up a lot of people. So what I would do is think of or. See how you see the O-R? That would help me know that or is in the middle. Or I see the pattern of O-R-O. And for some reason I like that symmetry or balance. So I would look for that. Or another thing, if you like superheroes or even know anything about the superhero kind of action adventure movies and things, is I see the word Thor in it. And I think Thor has to be very thorough when he's swinging his hammer around. So I think of the O-U-G-H, and I just add the Thor onto it, T-H-O-R. This is a little bit more complex of a group. I would probably take a little more time on it and make sure you focus on those words that you find to be the most difficult to spell or you get confused between each other. And just take a little extra time on this one. As always, use the practice exercises if you have the book. Use your spelling notebooks and cards and things of that nature. As always, work with a friend. Maybe your friends have some other ideas that might click better for you, or you can share yours with them. And that's it for this time. We'll switch it up next time, and I'll give you some kind of fun little different strategies for completely different sets of words that don't follow these kind of patterns. So see you then.
Thanks again for watching. Now remember, if you have any questions, comments, or you want to share your spelling strategies with me, go to teacherspayteachers.com. You can also find there the printable spelling cards, workbook, or even download the free PowerPoint presentation with all 5 different spelling strategy types. Remember, when you go to teacherspayteachers.com, to search under Innovative Spelling, or Innovative Answers by Jolene. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.